Fardaho. Fardaho. Yeah, I wanna Fardaho. 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 Yeah, I wanna Fardaho. My name's Harley Neville. Welcome along to the Guy and Harley podcast.
Oh, I'm Guy Pigden. The fuck was that shit?
That was Lil Xan.
Yeah.
Latest single.
Yeah.
Just fresh out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, what is he saying?
He's saying, fuck the hoe. Fuck the hoe. Yeah, I want to fuck the hoe.
But instead, he's saying three incomprehensible non-words to represent that.
Yes.
Fardaho.
Fardaho.
Fardaho. Which is really closer to fatherhood than...
That too.
That
too.
Than it is fuck the hoe. But whatever. God, that's horrible. That is absolutely atrocious.
Listen, Guy. Okay.
It's a fucking embarrassment.
All right, you listen to me, all right? Lil Xan and his movement are a reflection of our times, all right?
They're the modern day punk. The modern day punks of the fucking whatever.
Fardaho is a scathing social commentary, okay? It's holding up a mirror to our society and we cannot look away. Okay?
It's a scathing on my fucking eardrums.
Yes, well, that was Lil Xan. Go check him out sometime if you want a bit more of that stuff.
At least we're this is a successful PSA for people not listening to that. You were just doing that lyric right there.
No, I'll tell you what's interesting, okay? It's interesting. The music is interesting because, all right, it's a reflection of where our society sits, which is at the confluence of greed and misery. Okay, so I don't blame the purveyors and consumers of this product. I blame the elite that have created a society in which our youth feel the need to tattoo dicks on their faces and put so little effort into their music. Okay? so big pharmaceutical companies keep them medicated.
Big Pharma. Big Pharma.
Big Pharma keeps them medicated, right? While corrupt politicians make billions in the war on drugs at the same time. Donald Trump is the leader of the free world, all right? So these kids were born into a situation with no hope, and they know that they're living in the end of days, and their music is a reflection of the environment that they live in and a sign of the times that we live in.
Well,
so go check them out. Lil Xan.
Or, just start listening to better music and then everyone will have to, make good music.
Nah, got to fix society first.
So what's going on, man? It's been a while.
Well, it has been a while. Now, look, I do have quite a lot of topics. Do you want to first explain what the hell's been going on in your life? Because you're a busy man. It seems like these podcasts are few and far between. Shout out to all the people that hit us up, by the way, because there was a few of the Sifty 150 irate, beating down the door, wanting more content. Among them, Jason P. Diddy Coombs,
Diddy,
Anu, Liam Hegarty, and Warren, Wazza from work, and Mark Whammers. Yeah, all these people all banging down the door.
Wazza.
Whammers, was it? They're all my mates. They're all banging down the door. They want to know where it is. So shout out to all of them. We're here now.
Yeah. So obviously, I will apologise for our absence because it is my fault. It's entirely my fault. I have embarked on a 70-hour-a-week journey, shall we say. Over the course of the last couple of months. So basically what happened is I took on a freelancing job, which was an extra 20 hours a week. And I work about 50 hours a week already. So it was extra 20 hours a week, but it paid monthly and it was a month behind. So essentially I was doing 20 extra hours of work a week freelancing, but not being paid for it. The first pay for that is going to come in basically when I've finished the contract on December 20th. So it meant that as I was essentially doing all this work, but I couldn't do less of other work because I didn't have any extra income. Further to that point, I also couldn't really stop working or just be like, oh, why don't you just be poor for a while? Well, because I have my hip surgery coming up, which has now been confirmed, or at least semi-confirmed. I'll get into that a bit later, for next week, or whenever you listen to this, is December 20th, D-Day. And, through a series of unfortunate events, starting with my conception and birth,
definitely unfortunate.
I am not eligible for ACC. I'm not eligible for ACC, which is over here where sort of the government pays you for the work time you miss. They pay you 80% of your general wages, which if you were getting, you'd be fucking sitting pretty. However, I don't get that because this is considered the surgery is considered required due to a genetic abnormality or issue or defect where one of my hip joints sits lower in its socket, deeper in the socket than the other, which causes additional stress, which is why they believe that I have a bone spur that needs to be shaved and I've torn my labrum. They could attribute it all to not just a injury that they would then have to pay for, but oh no, this is from years of you having this thing, so that's how it really happened, so we can't pay you anything, I'm sorry about that. Which is not good, but it means that I have to sort of save up a huge chunk of money to cover the period of time that I'm sick. And I'm sure you go, well, Guy, don't you have annual leave? Well, yes, I do have some annual leave, but this surgery, as I've sort of recently found out, means that I won't actually be able to walk for the next 4 to 6 weeks. I'll be on crutches. You can only put a very moderate amount of weight bearing on that gammy leg where I have the surgery. So I really can't do much of anything. And yes, I do have some annual leave, but I'm also a freelancer who doesn't get any annual leave from his Uber jobs or his filmography work or anything like that. Now, maybe you'll say, well, yes, Guy, but you put money aside to take into that account. Well, yes, some of you do, all right? But why are you asking so many fucking questions? All you need to know is that I have to work a lot right now because I don't have any money, and maybe, yeah, I'm not amazing with my money. Yeah, maybe I'm not exactly the best, and I've got some debts that I should pay, but I put them off to buy new film gear. All right, let's not get too deep down the fucking rabbit hole here about why I had to do all these 70-hour weeks. The point is I had to do them, which means I was too busy to do the podcast, which means we haven't done a podcast, which leads us to here. Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy New Year. And I'm sorry.
Patreon.com/Pigville if you would like to support Guy and his ailment and recovery.
Yeah.
We call this Operation. That's what it will be referred to as. Because I'm thinking you're going to be... so Guy's going to be down in Dunedin for a while at some point. Convalescing. And so I'm thinking Skype special.
Could be, yeah.
Guy and Harley podcast Skype special.
I have a lot more time.
You won't be going fucking anywhere.
I have a lot more time.
There. You'll be begging for a podcast.
Oh, I have a lot more time.
You'll be like, let's do a long one. It'll kill 3 hours.
We haven't done a podcast in a while. We did one yesterday, Guy. It feels like forever.
Liam Hegarty's telling us to stop making them.
But yeah, it's funny because I legitimately have not had a day off in 2 months. And I don't say that lightly because when I directed, I was sort of close to that, but I'd always have a 1 day off after, like a few weeks. No day off. 0 days, 0 days off. So my first day off is going to be the day of my surgery. And then I'll kind of be making up for all those days off. But yeah, it's quite a involved process. They reckon that I'll be under anesthetic for about 3 to 4 hours potentially, and they also don't really know exactly how long it's going to take or how bad it's going to be till they get in there, start digging away.
Well, that sounds like it must be terrifying for you.
It certainly got me a little bit nervous. I think that any time you go under general anesthetic, it seems like a big deal. Obviously, with any operation of any sort, even if you've just fucking getting your wisdom teeth out, there's just some element of fear that you're like, oh, I'm just not going to wake up from this. Or there's going to be a complication. I mean, this is complicated surgery. Essentially, they're kind of getting into where my hip joint is. Shaving a bit of the bone off. I mean, imagine that. I mean, just picture someone sanding with something.
No, I imagine it's,
and then
it's more
like
like
a little
suction
suction
chisel.
thing
I imagine
that-
it's more like a little chisel.
It's not a chisel. I reckon it's a file. I reckon they kind of file
it down.
and then they've got a suction thing that's sucking out that sanded bone out of your thing. Plus, they've got to get in through like nerves and stuff. And they have said like, look, you know, that if it goes a bit wrong, they can like damage the feeling on your leg on that side.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously, so I'm nervous about the surgery for sure. I'm much more nervous about the pain I'm going to be in directly following the surgery, because you know, operations. We've both suffered from hairy arthritis here.
Mm-hmm.
Both familiar. You were like, hairy arthritis really put me on my back for a while.
Yeah. It put me on my front for a while. Is what it did.
So you know, I know a little bit, and obviously I've had reconstructive surgery on my on my face, like quite major reconstructive surgery on my face, and that was
from his brawling days back in Dunedin.
So that was no picnic, and so you know, I kind of get the process, and it's not a good process. If I had to guess your names, I would say Glenn and Alex. This is close.
Guy is now referring to the live stream. Hey guys, Ace Platinum. Hello, Ace Platinum. Welcome to the show. Cambria Kaylin, welcome to the show. And Ace Platinum says, if I had to guess your names, I'd say Glenn and Alex. But I think he's been smart because it's the Guy and Harley podcast. And he reckons that one of us is 36 and one of us is 35.
Fuck, I'm insulted.
Good guess.
I mean, it's a good guess, but I'm insulted.
Why?
Because clearly he's referring to me as the 36 one.
Well, mate, with that fucking beard and hair, I'd be fucking happy with 36 if I was you, man. Honestly, he could have said 45. 36 is spot on. I mean, we are 36 in like 6 months or less.
But yeah, so anyway, back to the surgery situation. So it's the recovery time. And it's also the recovery of like, so you sit around doing nothing for 2 weeks, you know, but just getting fat and weak and all those things. And then you kind of start walking around, but not really.
Yeah.
And then you lose the crutches. But that's when really the problems start, because your leg is all seized up from basically being completely inactive for, you know, 4 to 6 weeks. And so then you rehab that slowly until just to get to a point where you're not walking funny. I mean, that's really the first goal. Not walking funny. Just being able to take strides as a normal human being, 1 foot after the other, not bending, not doing something weird, not being super tight, not being cringing in pain with every step. Like, that's the first goal. And then you've got to get back to just feeling sort of semi-normal and like you can hold a camera and stuff, which is actually now my sort of bread and butter, videography stuff. And then you've got to get to feeling like you can get back in the wrestling ring.
Well, the wrestling ring will be a bit of a journey, I guess.
Oh, it's going to be a long journey, yeah.
A bit of a journey to get back where you were, the giddy heights of where you were.
The heady heights in front of a sold-out Mount Eden War Memorial Hall last night.
Right? Yeah. Guy had his final show. Final show for the year for the entire IPW. Final show for Guy before the surgery last night.
Final show for a extended period of time. You know, and
oh, true, yeah,
and yeah, so not good.
No. Now you guys heard about No Nut November, right? Yeah, it's where you don't ejaculate for the entirety of November.
Yeah.
Silly idea, ridiculous. I'm doing Destroy Dick December. Okay, I masturbated once on December 1st, twice on December 2nd, 3 times on December 4th, and so it escalates, okay? And I'm going to continue to do so right up until December 31st, when I will nut 31 times in a day, which is pretty close to my record. Okay, so today is December 16th. I've almost finished my homework for today, but if you jump on the live stream, you can see that I'm actually masturbating right now, okay? All right, this is number 14. But I'll get a couple more out over the next 45 minutes, and we can all kind of celebrate at the end of the show, all right? So twitch.com/Pigville. Make sure you head along and hit follow.
You know, that's funny. You know, it's good when you when you debut some of your new stand up here. It's always
What are you on about, man?
It's always
That's
a
all
treat.
off the cuff, man. I just make it up as I go.
It's always a treat when you debut some of your new stand up.
No, I just make it up as I go, man. This is just Nevs, just shooting shit, just banter. No notes, off the cuff.
So that's sort of. I guess we may as well talk about Alex Savage did have his last match.
Yeah, so I didn't quite finish. I was talking about Alex Savage's last match, and me being the good friend I am, I put it in my schedule like weeks out. Asked him ages ago.
I'll see you there, bud.
I was like, when's your next show?
I got your back,
right?
mate.
I was like, because I've only seen him wrestle once at Armageddon, and it was a couple of years ago now, or more than a year ago.
When I was shit.
And so, I should really see him, just in case this is the swan song of
the ballad of Alex Savage.
Of Alex Savage's career. So I was like, it's in my schedule. And then, what do you know? I got called into work, and I was meant to finish at 7.
Could have made it still.
Could have made it. 7 was fine. I was meant to finish at 7, but then for whatever reason, I finished at 9:40, which is way too late.
It was too late.
So I missed it. I'm a shit friend.
Yeah. Let the team down.
Now, we've got a listener topic soon, which is talking about our tattoos, and we will talk about that soon. But Guy was just about to say about Alex Savage's final wrestling. Yeah,
so it was a kind of a very sad, bittersweet moment. And I'm sort of doing a little vlog talking about my days leading up to my surgery for posterity.
Are you?
Yeah. But the problem is...
Are you, just for yourself? Or for... as Alex Savage?
Not as Alex, as... me.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't know if I'll ever finish it. Like, the chances are very low, judging by my output. But I am recording some vlogs about it and about the experience. But I was, feeling very...
Well, that's a great idea. I'm very happy to hear that, especially if it's something that can be put up on the Pigville channel.
Well, it can be if it ever gets finished.
Well,
because it's got to chart my journey now to whether I come back or don't. But anyway, I am working on that, just recording vlogs randomly as I go.
Or don't come back.
Yeah.
As in die.
No, as in...
Or don't come back as a wrestler.
Don't come back as a wrestler. Yeah.
Okay. I was like, fuck, that's black. I was like, he's making a documentary in case he dies. That's what I thought you were saying.
No, I mean, look, I will probably say quickly in one of them before I go under, hey, everyone, I love you all. Just take care if you don't see me again. I appreciated working with you all, and you're all good friends. And I'm sorry that I am often too busy. I've been working 70-hour weeks. Sorry about that. And because I thought that I'd still be alive and need money.
Oh, yeah, it all seemed like a bit of a waste then, wouldn't it?
Well, this last little bit, for sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was very bittersweet because it is like one of those things where you stop doing something, but everyone else continues to do it. And you're kind of just now watching them. They're like, okay, we did that. Now what's the next plan for the next one? What are we going to do going forward? Plans for next year. Goodbye 2018. Hello 2019. And I'm like, fucking goodbye. Hopefully 2019. And, when something is taken away from you that you are not ready to let go of, whether you're talking about this from an athletic sporting perspective or you're just talking about this from a hobby, which I guess as we progress in life and get older and older, you basically can do less and less things. And, you get that sense of like, fuck, I'm not doing that anymore. I can't do it. God damn. So it was...
You're going to have to become a manager.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously that's but don't get me wrong, that's better than nothing, but it's still not, the fun is, the elation is coming out, performing in the ring, having the crowd engaged in your story.
Well,
and
you could be Brother Love.
Yeah.
You could be Brother Love.
Look.
MC at the...
Just because I love you doesn't mean that I like you. It's one of his sayings.
Yeah?
Yeah. Which is pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that.
But anyway, so, now I'm sort of on the shelf. And we did do an angle to sort of write me off TV. So I'm doing what's known as a work shoot, which is incorporating elements of real life into the storyline of wrestling. So at the end of my tag match where we came so close to victory and winning the New Zealand Tag Team Championship bouts. Oh, so close, if not for the illegal interference of referee Mr. 100% Gary O'Davis. We were then attacked after the belt, and my leg was, what did you say, destroyed? My leg was destroyed.
Yeah. December destroyed?
My leg was destroyed.
Yeah.
And now I will be incorporating the surgery and recovery into that. So, Alex Savage, his leg has been destroyed. He's going under the knife, and he will probably vow revenge on those that perpetrated this horrific injury. But we'll have to see if he actually ever gets to pay that off. But it's called long-term storyline booking.
Cool.
So that's what I did last night, and it was very cool. It was a huge crowd, like sort of 300 people. Big match, and it was cool, I guess, again, from like the last year that I was on the show, I was in a dark match. Now, a dark match is the match you put on before the show. So before the show, when people are just trotting in and no one's really paying attention, but you need to engage the people that have already sat down, you throw on dark matches. And I was in a dark match, a not good dark match where I was soundly defeated. So it's good to see the evolution between that and this year. We're in the tag team title match for the championships and almost getting that win.
All right, well, there's a wrestling update for Cookie. I know you're listening, mate. All right. So, we better take a little listener topic here from Cambria. Kaylin wants to know about our tattoos, presumably because if you are looking at the live stream right now, you'll see that there is a couple of hairy beasts hosting this show. We're both wearing singlets. It's summer in New Zealand. We're in Auckland. It's a good day. We're both wearing singlets. Guy has got his big guns out. I can see the Rebel Alliance sign shining proudly on his arm. There's a lot of hair on my arm, so that's obviously why they want to talk about it.
Yeah, well, the tattoo that is visible here is my Star Wars tattoo, which is the first tattoo that I got. I have zero regrets.
What does it say underneath it?
Rogue leader. Because I am a leader that leads unconventionally, a rogue,
He's a
if
rogue.
You will.
Yeah.
I'm a rogue.
Yeah.
And I live by this tattoo.
I like it, to be honest.
I am a rogue leader.
I like it.
I
think it's funny that's a Star Wars tattoo, but I like it and I like the design. So
the problem with
I like rogue leader too.
Yeah, the problem is that it's
a challenge point though in my mind. When I see the Rebel Alliance sign, it's a challenge point from
that game. Empire something.
Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah, on N64.
Yeah. And I've got another one, which is like a dragon and a phoenix and a wolf and on the other side. But yeah, we've got a few tattoos, and but the Star Wars one is still probably, well, the problem with it is that that Rogue movie came out. What was that called?
Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, oh, but a Rogue One fan, are you? And it's like, I am 100% not a fan of Fruity Darth Vader strutting that ass down the aisle like a model walking in a freaking catwalk. No, I'm not a fan of
I don't think I watched that
Metro Darth Vader strutting that fucking hot model bod down the aisle because he doesn't know how to walk like Darth Vader because he's just like a big model. He's just a tall model that they pick. They're like, well, we don't need him. What is he's a guy in a suit. He doesn't have to act.
Well, after the Star Wars
and doing the he does the choke sign, but it kind of looks like he's doing the sign
the punch sign,
that you need a punch.
Yeah,
he does that.
Yeah,
he does the dick punch sign.
Yeah,
and walks down the strut and then struts that ass. He struts that ass, turns around and gives the dick punch sign. If you're wondering what happens
in Rogue
One and where Darth Vader's cameo is. It sucks.
Okay, so I don't think I've seen Rogue One, or maybe, but after the Star Wars, the last time I'll pay, maybe I didn't go back. But yes, all right, okay, cool. Speaking of acting, Star Wars acting. I went to my agent's Christmas party the other day because I'm a big shot actor, and I got the best barman in the world. Like when they were about to close the tab, he was like, "Hey, should I just like tick you up another whiskey? You can just come collect it later. I'll just put it on the tab before they close it." And I was like, yes. You know, and then later on when I collected my drink after the tab had finished, he gave me this fancy see-through ginger beer just for no reason. Like just opened up a bottle and just gave it to me. But anyway, the interesting part of that story is that I went to the so this party finished, and there was this person there that I knew, a woman, and we were the last two left, and it was like, oh yeah, cool, it's all wrapped up, see you later type thing. And then she goes, "Hey, so are you taking me home?" And I was like, "Oh, no, I'm drinking. I'm not driving." And she was like, "I'm drinking too. So like, are you taking me home?" And I was like, oh, no. No, I'm sorry. But the weird thing was, though, it was like, where did that even come from? Like, we hadn't spoken about anything sexual or romantic. We hadn't flirted or been intimate in any sort of, we hadn't like had a candlelit conversation type
Actors,
thing,
man.
Actors. and then she just came out with that. And,
This is what happens. They all pair up at the end of the night.
Yeah.
And you guys were the last two there.
Yeah, and I'm a big shot producer, right?
So she wanted to know if you're going to do that.
I guess so.
How old was she?
Older than me. Well, actually, no, I actually know her age. No, I don't know.
Anyone I know?
Nah.
Nah, you wouldn't know her. Nah, I don't think so.
Nah. Now, anyway, good.
There's more of a story there.
So
Let's divulge that later.
So, speaking of which, let's open up Buzz on Bumble, which is the new name for the Tinder files. I've renamed it. So, new development. Women on Bumble now have the power to allow us to contact them first. Okay, so the whole thing is that, they make contact. They have the power to contact and stuff, to contact the man. And if they don't want to, if they match and they don't want to contact, then the man can't contact them. And that's great. I like that. But the thing is, like, I love seeing how I'm starting to see them realize how hard it is to initiate interesting conversation with a complete stranger that you're considering having sex with, right? And they now...
That's funny. The tables have turned.
The tables have completely turned, and they're fucking struggling, and they're always sitting through, "Hey." That's their initiating message. Hey. And like, so anyway, they now, in this new thing that Bumble has launched, they can now deign for us to contact them, right? So it doesn't defeat the whole purpose, but they allow us to contact them first. And just on principle, I was like, fuck off, Karen, like when I got offered it. And then, but these girls that match me on Bumble, right? And they're all like, hey, right? Which means that then I can reply. They're kind of cheating, right? Yep. But anyway, it's like, what the hell? Like, you want a piece of the nibs and you're coming at me with, hey, And it's like, well, the other day I had one. It was actually, I got like pretty good banter. I actually tried. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll send her some messages, and we had some pretty good banter. And then she just like stopped replying and then unmatched me, right? And it was like the conversation was perfectly civil. There was nothing like weird or bad about it or whatever.
You didn't reveal any of your kinks.
I didn't. So it's like she had the power to choose to match with me, right? She chose to match with me which means that based off my pictures, she was kind of attracted to me, presumably, right? Okay, and then, good news, it turns out I can have a civil conversation as well, right? But then she unmatches me. So what does she want? Like, she's attracted to me physically, and I can have a civil conversation, right? What does she want? Why does she unmatch me?
She was expecting like you to be just a hilarious charmer.
Well, you got to talk. We've got to talk a little bit first. But I was,
No time.
I did crack a few jokes. To no avail. But I guess I've got to stop matching with these 25-year-olds, eh?
Yeah, I think
that's emotionally stunted.
This could be a real issue here. Is that if you've got to put your age range above 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's
Maybe trying to date women 10 years younger than me is just
not the greatest.
no.
Yeah.
It seems like often their mind is just filled with like superfluous shit, you know, like just like people that age, like 25ish. A lot of the people I'm talking to, or like that I'm matching with, I'm like, I don't know. I look at they seem to be like really interested in kind of just small mind stuff.
Yeah. Whereas you're, sitting around listening to Lil Xan.
I'm reflecting upon the message that Little Xan represents for our society.
Yeah, well, no, I think you are touching on an interesting point. We're talking about sort of immaturity and sort of when do you sort of emotionally mature and sort of start having, I don't know, bigger thoughts about the world or more interesting thoughts about the world around you. And I think that is at 26. That's because that's.
Well, I agree.
That's where I feel like. And I also think like you think about it in 5-year increments because they say in 5-year your brain kind of changes in this 5-year period. So you've got your sort of 5, 1 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, and then 20 to 25, and then that next one, right? So, you got to get to the next one. And I feel like that's sort of relatively true for me. But I also, because I'm an Uber driver, right? So I hear these conversations all the time in the back of my car. And it's just people saying the dumbest shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how is this conversation that I'm overhearing quietly, how is this conversation engaging you?
Either of them.
Or yeah, exactly. Like, how are you stimulated by these topics and this thought process and all of it? Because it's fucking dumb. You guys are fucking dumb. And that's what I want to turn around and say sometimes. Just turn around and say that.
You guys are fucking dumb.
Like, what is wrong with you? Like, the world is burning. And you want to, the other thing that really kind of bothers me, and people of all ages do this, which is a big new thing, is they review their Snapchats at the end of the night. So basically they're Snapchatting the whole night through, and then they just sit in the back of my car re-looking at the night they just did via these 5-second snaps. And it's always like this. And that's just them and that is fucking interesting to them. Really? You fucking remember it. You just did it.
Yeah, I guess they want to see. I mean, I like reviewing. This is kind of related, actually. Facebook just took away the view as button, or they did it a few months ago. It took away the view as button on Facebook, right? Which means that it used to be this thing where you could view your own profile as anybody else. So, like, if you don't want your mum to see certain things, you can put her on a certain privacy level or whatever, and then you can view it as her to see exactly what she sees on your profile. And you can view it as public, just what sort of the average public person sees and stuff. So it's a handy tool for your privacy, but it's also really good for reviewing your own Facebook and seeing it from an outside perspective to see, like, if you come across as a knob or not, or like if your post works, like it's kind of a fresh angle on it, right? But they've taken it away. But anyway, so I think there's something to be said for reviewing the content that you've put out online. I watch back the shit that I put online or reread statuses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To see, to get it right, to learn.
The other fucked up thing about Snap,
it'd be fucking annoying though, is they disappear and they're just gone. Like, who gives a shit?
Exactly.
But I guess you want to know what your friends saw though. You want to remind yourself because you go, oh fuck, I did send them that snap of me like pissing or whatever.
Yeah.
So you want to see that.
But I don't know. It all just seems like a world gone mad to this old timer. The other scary thing, and I was just having this conversation with Alana. Shout out to Alana, 150 listener, and
shout out Alana,
colorist who just finished or almost finished the grade on older this week.
Can you, next time you go in there, or any of the places where you're doing post-production stuff, can you get...
I've already been now, it's too late.
To all of them? You're not going back in for anything?
Well, envy.
We'll go back in and get a decent photo of you and V-Bomb with the fancy gear and stuff, so that we can post it on the older Facebook page, facebook.com/olderthemovie for our second feature film, because we need to or is it older movie? facebook.com/older movie. It's older movie or older the movie?
Well, actually, it's
I think it's facebook.com/older the movie. And so
it's older movie without the.
Okay. Well, you guys can find it by searching Older the Movie on Facebook anyway. And so anyway, because we are getting close, the things are moving and shaking, and so we need to start getting the old publicity train, marketing train rolling again. We need to start building up the Facebook page presence and all that type of thing, get the posts going again and do all those types of things. And so to do that, we need content, good content. So it'd be really good to get a photo of you and some nice little blurb from you, preferably, going like, oh, wow, it's been such a journey, but here we are. Oh, boy, we're putting on the finishing touches on Older, blah, blah, blah. Thank you so much.
A little funny note I'll just add to that. Because I was just trying to think in my head, like, have I taken any of those photos? Like, I've literally just been sitting in this amazing, huge suite with this cinema projection of my film in front of me. And what did I do? I got Alana to take so you basically you can do lots of different things when you grade. You can make things bluer, you can brighten things up and basically what they do is they kind of put a mask around an area, and then they adjust just that area, and then they kind of stretch it out so it looks like a natural light, so that it's not just like this big spotlight, but that this it's sort of going out into all areas, and it looks sort of natural, but it's improved the way you're seen as lit, essentially, in the post process. And so she's going through a process where she was making my eyes lighter, and she just did a funny thing where she made them way too light and way too bright. And so I got her to do that as I recorded that. And it basically makes my eyes look like they light up like a demon's, right? And so then I sent that to my girlfriend with the caption, "When you send me nudes."
Well, you should really post that publicly as well.
But I'm just, that's
you
my
post
level.
It on the Guy and Harley podcast
that's
page.
my level of failing very miserably at this social media thing. But yes, I guess we should just quickly talk about that Older. It has been being graded at the moment.
Our second feature film, Older, facebook.com/oldermovie or facebook.com/olderthemovie. Go check that out. There's a trailer on YouTube as well.
So we were grading. Again, that was something I was also super busy with us in the 70-hour week. And Alana, a high school friend of many, many years, is now a very, very, very successful grader. Award-winning grader.
Award-winning, talented, successful grader.
And she's graded many, many things, too many to count, but she, out of the kindness of her heart, took on this project, for not really anything.
Yeah.
Which is more amazing if you consider how in demand she is, how little time she has, and how low budget this film is. Like, there is just no reason to do it, except you're because we're high school friends. It's really hanging on the old guilt hah school friends vibes there.
See, just like it's a double-edged sword. Having friends in high places is a good thing, unless you're the one in the high place.
Exactly.
And then you got friends in low places,
and that's what our friends are now finding. Is they've all, they're all at a higher level in the industry. We're knocking on the door. Hey, mate,
it's me.
Hey, can you do us a little score for the next thing? I know that your normal hourly rate is $800, but we were sort of thinking zero.
We were sort of thinking we'll do all of it for a couple of handy.
Yeah, what do you think about that? So anyway, she's been grading it and been super fun to actually sit in with her, watch it come together. It's one of the best feelings in the world to see your film be graded, because it's one, you're coming towards the end, but two, it's like when you see I guess puzzle, like a jigsaw puzzle, right? And it's laid out on the table, and it is all there, and you can see it, but you actually have to make all the pieces fit together for it to truly feel cohesive. And that's what a grade does, is it kind of grabs all those pieces and drags them all together and connects them all and makes them feel cohesive and makes it all feel like a beautiful flowing river of indie story and sex scenes.
Yeah, good summary of what it's about.
Indie story
with sex
scenes.
Well, I got a contract signed recently that I had a long list of things to get signed. I got one signed.
Yeah, boy.
Some admin. Another piece of admin down.
Love it.
So that's good.
And what's interesting, I guess, is from that I also just got the music, the new music for the new cut. I just got that last night. So that's another thing off the list.
Yeah.
So now
still chasing those music contracts.
Yeah.
By the way.
Oh, that's good. This was all the original composing, so we at least have the rights to these ones.
Yeah.
But so that's so really the only thing left is the sound mix at this stage before we can go forth and conquer.
Yeah.
With this film, so we probably try and get some money for that.
Yeah.
Probably sort out that application.
There's they've rearranged the funding initiatives down at the Film Commission now. There's a new one. It's called Catalyst. It's 90 grand. And so you can either have 15 grand or 90 grand.
Whoa.
90's pretty good.
90's pretty good, but we don't need 90.
Well,
I mean, we do. But
no, I don't actually know what this is for. If it's for finishing,
it's a different thing.
It's for starting a film.
Starting
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay.
I segued. I just didn't segue very smoothly.
Okay.
I segued from post-production to pre-production.
Yeah.
So there's the Film Commission's got this new one called Catalyst. It's more of a rearrangement of the old one called Catalyst.
Well, I'm glad you've been looking at their funding.
90
pages.
grand or 15 grand. Well, I know because of my connections in the film biz.
Right.
So I get the word of mouth.
And we should also just quickly mention on the topic of grading, I also just finished the grading for our short film, which was a web series, which has now become a long short called Harrow. Harrow. Harrow is meant to be said scarily, but somehow it never quite does.
Well, Guy, if you really wanted to, you
change
could
the title.
Change the title of the short film version of it, probably for the festivals if you wanted.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm full of fucking good ideas, mate. I am your muse. Okay, without me, you don't have the catalyst. All right, that starts the chain reaction of brilliance. All right. Yeah. Like you are, I'm the spark, you're the kindling, or vice versa. One of those two. So yes. Anyway.
So yeah, we just finished the grade of that, and man, I have to say, I really like that long short. Now. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll need to give it another year to grow on me. I think
it's definitely a bit cheesy, but I'm okay with that. At least it's funny now, and but like the first half you're like. Yeah, this is great funny. The second half, you're like, holy shit. A lot of crazy shit happens. A lot of really crazy shit happens there.
I need to step back and rewatch it with fresh eyes.
Yeah, it's definitely... I'm pretty excited. I do hope that it has a new life on the festival circuit because I actually do think that it's got a lot of potential.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
we might that'd be a good reason to get rid of that exploding Harrow title that's currently in there.
True. Now's the time to do any of those things.
Exploding. Hey, what if the title explodes with the word Harrow? That's scary, right? Because it's exploding. Because in horror films things explode all the time, and whatever.
Yeah. Well, this is this is the time to fix it, man.
Yeah, I have to get someone to make some new titles now.
You do, but you might as well do it. I looked at some festivals, like Screamfest is like April is the early bird.
Okay.
So that's got a good amount of time there. And then there was another one, Holly Films or Holly Fest or something, but it's another LA one, and that was like February. Right. Early bird was February. So I was like,
somewhere I've got a list of all the horror festivals. I have to dig that up. But they are year round, so the sooner we sort of get on that, better. We actually have to re-record with our actors a little bit at the beginning. We have to get them down here.
Reshoot something?
not reshoot. We need the audio. So I mean, we could literally do it here, but I actually think it'd be better to do it like I'll just record them in the backyard talking into the shotgun
what's this
mic. For Harrow.
For Harrow. Okay.
So, but we need the 2 tourists.
Oh yeah. That shouldn't be too hard. I think they're both still around.
Yeah.
Now as you guys all know, I'm a big shot TV star from my time on
From that one episode of
First Dates.
From that one segment of that one episode
of that one show
that's not on anymore. First Dates.
Hey, I'll have you know that aside from my First Dates NZ appearance, somebody today at work said they were watching Moldy TV the other day, and last season's Only in Aotearoa was on, and he saw me. So
I still haven't seen a couple of my skits.
Yeah,
from
you
that.
gotta watch them. The Facebook one's good. Well, they're all
I've
pretty
seen
good.
the
They're all
Facebook
pretty good, but I
I
want to
see the cleaner one. Is really
I haven't seen it either. You got to watch the episodes. They're on Moldy TV on demand. That's not what they call it. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Now, so anyway, I went to the NZ TV Awards, and it was my first time taking a date out in public since She Who Shall Not Be Named left.
Voldemort.
On a related note, a very closely related note, She Who Shall Not Be Named has a new boyfriend now. So I guess she's taking this whole breaking up with me thing quite seriously.
How long ago was it that she broke up with you?
Well, this May 10th will be will be 2 years.
Only 2 years?
Yeah, May 10th will be 2 years.
Oh, okay. So it's a year and a half.
Year and a half, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, May 10th will be 2 years.
I mean,
yeah.
Some people get over like the death of a loved one at that time.
Well, yep. I'm just processing, okay? I'm just taking my time.
Sure are.
But anyway, I went to the NZ TV Awards, and so I took this date, and there was a Women's Day photographer like on the door, like once you get in there after you walk the red carpet, because it's a big old red carpet affair.
Which I was filming.
Which guy was filming, which is funny, because guy was filming the red carpet, which I was walking on. But unfortunately, he was doing an interview filming an interview when I came by, so we couldn't really chat or do anything, do any shenanigans or try and get me on red carpet TV or something.
Well, you should have hung around a bit, and I could have.
It's just kind of scary on the red carpet though, as well, because you're standing there and you're just literally surrounded by people all staring at you, you know, and taking photos and stuff, and you're like, if you don't have anything to do, you feel quite exposed, you know. And so anyway, this Women's Day photo stand was just in the door, and the bitch bloody photographer said she had a list of people she had to get photos of, and evidently I wasn't on the damn list, right? Because she took one look at us and designated us plebs, then didn't really want to even take a photo of us, and then was like, okay, yeah, jump in, and took a shit photo of us, hurried and corralled us, and then didn't even bother taking our names. She was taking the names of all the people to get, so that you can caption it, this Women's Day, this person, whoever it was, Taika Waititi or whoever, this is like the New Zealand version of the Grammys. Grammys? Yeah, Grammys. But anyway, it's fuck, if you don't want us plebs harassing you for photos, don't set up your stupid photo wall right by the front door. We're all walking through after we feel like we're $1 million. So anyway, she's on the fucking blacklist because she embarrassed me in front of my date.
She's on the list.
Clearly doesn't know who I am. But yeah, anyway, so after that though, I took a photo. We took a photo, just a cell phone photo on the Women's Day background, right? And then real casually, just in front of me, just real casually, my date used an app to make me taller. And she did it super casually, I wouldn't be highly offended. But it was let's imagine this. And let's imagine that I had taken a photo of my date with my phone, and then right in front of her, just super casually, I just use an app to make her tits bigger. And then I go, there you go, much better. And then I post it on Facebook and tag her in it. Imagine the outrage. She'd be so upset. So yeah, anyway, down with the matriarchy is what I'm saying.
Yeah, down with funny follow-up story to that, because I think this is actually you've touched on a very interesting subject here. You've actually really touched on something very interesting here, which is guys are constantly and fairly cop a lot of shit for being incredibly judgmental about females' looks, right?
You said fairly, right?
Yes.
We're fairly,
Yes.
as in we are known and
Yes.
fairly for
Yes,
being
we're
that way.
fairly
So you're
judged.
not denying it.
I'm not denying that.
that men
But
objectify women. Good.
Just
as we're clear.
It is seen as if women are much more forgiving. And in some ways, they definitely are.
Oh, as in like, I'm
Yeah,
a
like-
schlubby, hairy
like,
guy.
but, it's all about the personality. I only
Yeah.
care about your personality. I don't care about looks. I only care, like, it doesn't matter what you look like. I'm attracted to their personalities. They can be any type. I don't have a type. They can be any type. What I want is to make someone that makes me laugh. Fucking bullshit. You want a tall guy. You want a fucking tall guy. So let's cut that shit out right now. And then I've got so many examples of this. It's unbelievable how what's the word? How objectifying women are about height.
Yeah.
Like, it's really alarming. So, like, for instance, a friend of mine was on a Tinder date. He walked into the bar. She took one look at him and she goes, you look taller in your photos. And walked out. Walked out.
That's so brutal. Imagine if that was reversed.
Yeah.
You go, oh, you look skinnier in your photos, and then you walk out.
And you just walk out.
Fucking brutal.
And it's also his height.
That's a horrible thing to say.
His height.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
You have some control over fatness. You got no control over height.
so anyway, I'm just saying that, like, this is a height issue that needs to be readdressed and re-looked at, and down with the matriarchy.
Down with the matriarchy.
Yeah.
Female heightism, right?
Heightism.
It's a serious
Heightism
thing.
and baldism
Imagine
are
being
rampant.
Imagine being
rampant.
Imagine being a short shiny. Imagine if that was your lot in life. A short shiny. Imagine if she photoshopped some hair onto my head as
That'll
well.
be the next step.
Imagine if
That'll be the next step.
she told
Casually?
She told me up and then she casually photoshopped some hair on
It is pretty funny that she even had an app
for making people
for
taller.
making people taller.
Yeah.
And also, why? Like, you can't even really judge height. No,
Look. In case my date is listening, I did just want to say I actually had a very lovely evening, and in her defense, she made us both taller. In the photo.
Yeah,
it was
I
a dual.
understand
It wasn't just a photo of me, which would be way worse.
But you
It was-
never-
she made both of us taller,
But
and
you
it wasn't
never,
a big deal.
You never look in a photo and go, oh, those... Like, unless there's one real tall person, one real short person.
Yeah.
If they're both a relative equal height, you don't really assume their height. Never assume someone's height.
Yeah. Did you just
Did you just
assume
assume
my
my
height?
So, all I'm saying is it's funny that she did that.
Yeah, it is. Now, do you want to go or?
Oh, no, you go.
All right. So in other news, through a friend of a friend, I got offered $200 to do a voiceover for a video. So it was just the voice, right?
Yep.
And I could record it right here at this very microphone easily. $200.
Yep.
They had the script and everything. $200. Just got to read it into a microphone and send it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Piece of piss. I do this on the podcast all day, every day. But here's the thing. It was to be used as part of a scam on the internet. So my face would be, my voice would be saying, my name is John Lane, and this is a picture of me winning the Green Acres Masters Franchise of the Year, standing there looking amazing in my tuxedo. Don't ask me what happened to my jacket. That's Paul McFarlane there as well, the National Franchise Support Manager. And so it continues, but pages and pages of it, right? But it's outright lies. Like, obviously, I'm not that rich guy that's in the images, because, it's saying that I'm somebody that I'm not. And so I said no, partly because it sounds illegal to say that I'm somebody that I'm not, but also because this is presumably going to be used as a scam to scam vulnerable people on the internet. And I'd be the voice of it.
And as someone that's been, as a vulnerable person that's been scammed on the internet many times, you don't want to...
Exactly. I don't want to proliferate that type of thing. I don't want to encourage that type of behavior. But so I would be the voice of this, this scam for a measly, ill-gotten $200, right? So I said no, but although there is another part of me that says fuck the world, like let it burn, live a whole secret second life where I just do whatever the fuck I want. But I know that the right thing to do is not to be the voice of a scam on the internet. So also the other thing is that my voice is quite easily recognizable, I think, and there's over 200 hours of the Guy and Harley podcast online to compare it to as well. So I politely declined, and then I gave them my CV and said that if they were ever shooting any snuff films, that they could rely on my participation. Operation GoPro,
Another friend of mine just sold a snap on Instagram for $100 US
for like a erotic thing.
Well, a sexy snap.
Is he a wrestler?
She's
a wrestler. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's just like premium Snapchat or premium.
Yeah, that's
Insta,
what it was called. A premium snap.
Yeah.
So you pay for a week of this premium snap for $100 US.
Yeah.
And she does these, sexy.
Yeah.
Sexier. I mean, if you check on her Instagram, you probably won't be disappointed.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
But then she's charging these people.
This is the next level up.
Yeah, this is the end game.
Yeah.
And I was like,
but it's not.
I was like, this is kind of like that Harley's thing where that guy
only
wanted him to.
They do want me to jerk off for $80. Yeah. Easiest money I ever made. Quickest money I ever made too. Fucking hell.
Comedy. Stand-up comedy.
And so but yeah, I am on a website called OnlyFans, which I've just set up. Remember we spoke about this. I said, would you consider it pornography if I had a website called this OnlyFans page where I just post pictures of hairy me, so it's not porn. I'm not naked, or I'm as naked as I am. All of the stuff's already on the internet type thing, or it's not showing anything that you can't find already type thing. It's more just kind of collating it, plus taking some of the other photos from the same shoots that aren't on the internet yet.
I was gonna say, plus taking some photos of you posed erotically.
No, but I'm not doing any posing.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is I'm just doing photos that I've already got from all our various shoots over the year. So for example, the other day I posted a screenshot of my hairy back and ass, which is on I Survived a Zombie Holocaust, right? Now, millions of people have seen that. There's no fucking skin off my nose, right? So I take a screenshot of the movie. It's literally a screenshot of the movie, and I posted it as one of my posts. But of course, there are other, things as well, like behind-the-scenes photos from the half-hairy shoot or whatever. I haven't actually posted that yet, but I will at some point. But so anyway, the point is that people can now pay for my premium hairy goodness. Just on OnlyFans, but I haven't actually really set it up properly yet. Like it's set up, but I haven't told anybody or posted it anywhere. But I will. I need to get that passive income. Operation GoPro.
Yeah. Fuck shooting stock footage.
Yeah. I'll just post pictures of my hair. I'll just collate pictures of my hairy body for the beer lovers.
Going to some picturesque location at sunset and trying to shoot some epic shot.
But if you guys want to see
just take a fucking dirty shot of your hairy fucking body sprawled out on your bed.
Go to OnlyFans, onlyfans.com. I do it, I do it all for the premium. I do fisting.
I do it all for the premium.
Fisting.
All for the premium.
Gaping, fisting. I do it all. Onlyfans.com and search for hairy navel. Search for Harley Neville. I think because I'm just using my real name. Like I say, it's not actually anything X-rated. So anyway, premium Snapchat. Oh, that's right. I've got a confession. While we're talking about premium Snapchat.
Sure.
Okay. So a while back,
here we go.
There was a woman that I know. I've never actually met her in real life, but we've been online friends for a long time.
Yeah.
She is a big fan of I Survived a Zombie Holocaust. An attractive young woman and living in the South Island. We've never met, but I've been following her on Instagram and so forth. And one day we got to chatting, and she said she had a premium Snapchat. And I said, oh, that's interesting. And she, I for research purposes, I tried it out. I may have paid her a subscription to see what it was exactly that what she was doing. And for several months, she must have liked me because I only paid for 1 month, but she must have left me on there for like heaps of months. But I think I'm gone now. I think I'm not getting them anymore. But it was just like snaps, like sexy erotic snaps. Of her like in her room basically, and little glimpses, like nothing too hardcore basically, nothing like no like sex or anything like that, more just dancing around and so forth.
We'll have a word about that after the show.
Oh, it sounds like okay. Well, what did you say earlier? Oh, there's a story there which I guess we'll get into later. Now
I think I know who you're talking about.
Oh, okay. We're both paid. You paid too. You grubby cunt. Nah.
No, I get my premium snaps from my girlfriend.
Now, you should probably do a topic, right?
Okay, quickly. I'm just gonna fire this one at you. A long time ago, 5150 listener Jared Murray asked the question: is there any big film that we've always dreamed of doing? Remember that question? We never answered that.
Yeah, well, we haven't asked it yet because he asked. It was quite a long time ago, but It was since the last show. He said, "I wondered if either of you ever had an ultimate dream movie project. If you were given the cash to do it, I wondered if either of you had the ultimate dream movie project. If you were given the cash to do it." It could be something original, or it could be a book or a graphic novel adaptation, even if it was to direct a Star Wars film. But what would it be about? What would it be?
Okay, so for me, this has changed. So when I was 18 or 20 or even 25, I would have said a few things. One, I would have said direct a Star Wars project. Well, someone's gone and balls that up for us, haven't they?
By making the whole franchise uncool.
Yeah, multiple times they've fucked that shit up.
Wow, it's interesting to hear you say that because I kind of thought you were still I thought you were on board.
I
thought you were on board with all the new stuff. Like,
I don't mind it, but it's just not Star Wars, and just
exactly.
this whole killing of
saying.
all the fucking main characters.
Yeah.
It ain't working for me.
Yeah.
It really ain't working for me, and for multiple reasons, because it changes the meaning of those films.
Well,
and
it does.
That's what I don't like, because those films weren't meant to be changed in that way.
No.
They were not intended for you to see this far into the future and see all these dumb things happening.
Yeah.
And what happened to the characters.
Also, because if you don't watch the later films and you don't know anything about any main characters dying, when you finish watching the original trilogy, you're like, oh, okay. And then they went on to live full lives and doing whatever they were doing, and they may or may not still be alive, or whatever. You can fantasize about what happened, but now you know what happened, and it was something shit.
Yeah.
It
was like a shit end to their story in a way. A flaccid, limp ending to their story. Which may be similar to real life, really, but these are the fucking movies. That's what I'm saying. You don't do that.
If you just leave it alive, if you leave them alive in people's imaginations, then anything can still happen. But once you put it down on celluloid that's how they died, well, that's how that character died forever. That's it.
And that's what he was doing. He was moping around, sucking on blue milk titties.
Yeah.
And fucking.
Well, I was thinking of Han, but either
in Ireland.
Yeah. Yeah,
sucking on some blue milk titties and switching himself off from the Force.
Yeah.
Like, that was even a fucking thing.
Yeah.
But
because you much prefer the idea of you never know what happened after the original trilogy, but
even the books they wrote were interesting.
Yeah, the books were good. The books were pretty good. I read quite a few books.
The books had them sort of on these new adventures, and they were kind of compelling stuff, and they didn't do anything really fucking stupid.
Kip, remember that book it was about? The main one of the main guys is called Kip.
Yeah, I can't remember his other name though.
Yeah, Kip something. And then Dash Rendar was from...
Dash Rendar.
Dash Rendar was
Dash,
from...
what sort of a terrible name is that? When you
hey,
really
I'm going to call my kid Dash. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Dash Rendar. I like that name. Dash Rendar is the hero in the Nintendo 64 Shadows of the Empire game, which we both thrashed the shit out of.
We did.
Back when we were teens.
I hated that bit where you had to swim underwater, and there was the what is that, swamp monster, and it was just you couldn't see shit down there. You had to get a bunch of challenge points down there. You'd run out of air if you stayed down there too long, but also this thing would just fucking come out of the blue and fuck you up. Fucking hated that. God, I hated that bit in it. And it was like down in some sewers. It was just a horrible section of the game. If you got past that bit of the game, it was okay. We're getting sidetracked.
Dash Rendar does sound like one of Santa's reindeer.
It does, really.
That's what Victory Fist on the live stream thinks.
Yeah, well, he should probably give that he should stream that game, because it's one of those games that is fun and enjoyable, but also is full of buggy, weird shit.
I found so many good bugs. I should have been, in another life, a game tester.
Yeah. But yeah, what was I saying before Star Wars? Oh yeah, so Star Wars
what would you like to create?
So I would have at one stage have liked to have done a Star Wars film. I would have also really liked to have at some point done The Hobbit. Like, I always in my head I was like, you know what, Lord of the Rings was cool, but actually The Hobbit, as like a more smaller self-contained thing with riddles in the dark and all this cool shit happening, I was like, that would actually make an awesome film. Hopefully they won't make that, you know,
before you're big enough to be commissioned.
A super successful amazing director. Well, guess what? They did, and they stretched it out to 3 fucking films, and it wasn't very good. But that one could still be great. Like, even imagine one film Hobbit now of what he shot would probably still be quite great, you know? Just cut out all the, you know? So, you know, that was one. And then I think the other ones that kind of stick out to me would be a Resident Evil reboot, which
Biohazard,
which they're actually doing now, I'm pretty sure. So this is actually happening.
Fuck, they need to reboot it. Fuck, they fucked that franchise.
Oh, they did.
God, it made me so angry and disappointed, because they had so much good stuff to work with. It was all there. It was such a great game, such a fun, rich universe, and then they made this shitty superhero film with a random hottie. They're like, yeah, random hottie superhero girl. It'll be fun.
It's terrible.
It's nothing like the games.
And they get sillier and sillier.
Yeah.
And more action orientated, as opposed to horror or any kind of...
Yeah.
And they make less and less sense. They just get worse and worse. But I kept coming back. I kept watching them. I couldn't help myself.
They're releasing the new game soon, right? Which is the throwback, the remake of the original type thing. They're going,
yes.
or a new one that's going back to the old fashioned.
Well,
style.
they're definitely doing a remake. The last Resident Evil was kind of a throwback to the old fashioned style. But anyway, so I would love to, and I would still love to do that. But I think they're already doing that. Again, the problem is I keep not being successful. So they keep doing all my ideas before I can do them. You know, because again, if I'd been successful, I could have did this one for sure. I mean, they've been making 7 Resident Evil films.
Well, you know, you call it Biohazard, right? That's the Japanese version of it.
Yeah.
So you buy the rights to Biohazard in Japan or something, and then like shoot it. You know, see if that works. I doubt it would work, but you know, but yeah, because the original Japanese version was called Biohazard, and my mate and I used to do this thing, a disc swap on the PlayStation to make the Japanese version of the game work on PlayStation 1.
I remember that.
And what you had to do was you had to start up a regular, you know, game from New Zealand, from just a regular game for your zone, the English game or whatever it was, and
you also had to trick your PlayStation into
staying open. So you do that with a spring from a pen. You crack open a pen, grab the spring, and put it in the little hinge so that it was holding down, you know, the thing like a fridge light. Yeah, basically like a fridge light, like making it think that it was closed, but actually it was open. And then you watch it, and when it slows, when the disc, the original disc spins and starts slowing down, you pull it out, and then you put in the Japanese one, and then it starts booting up that one, and then at some point you take it back out and put the old one back in or something, and then you take it back out and put it back in again.
And then after that, you're safe.
And then after that, you're in. But you've got to keep it open. Your PlayStation's open there going the whole time. And you're playing the Japanese version.
Which is more violent.
Yeah, it's more violent, and it's got like cigarette smoking and stuff in it. And all the fucking riddles are in Japanese. So that made it pretty tough.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah, all the clues, all of that stuff, it's all in Japanese. You got to figure it out all in Japanese. We were geniuses though. We got through it.
So, Resident Evil remake. Then the other ones are probably there is and I have talked about this before, but there is a trilogy of books called the Assassin's Trilogy. It's a fantasy series, kind of like Lord of the Rings, but not really. And I've always read those books. I always thought they were comparable to the Lord of the Rings, as in the best fantasy books that I've ever read. And I also thought they would make an amazing film. And so that's, if we're talking about big pie in the sky movies, like, you could do anything and you had $100 million to do it, I'd probably try and adapt the first book. If we're just talking like, hey, what would you do if you think of anything like right now, I would probably just pick one of my movies, because I actually really just want to really make a bunch of movies that I thought of, and I don't actually mind if they're not those big $100 million films. I think differently. Think in smaller terms now. That's not to say I don't want to do a big massive film, but I would love to do our wrestling movie. Is really, that's my Rocky film, and like Rocky, I'm gonna be old to it, but I could there's a lot of parallels there. I'd love to do that. So yeah, that would probably be. What about you?
Well, look, I've got a wee bucket list. 33% done. Good zombie film.
You know what?
What?
Zombie Holocaust 2. So if someone gave me like $5 million right now, I would definitely go, can we do it? Only if we could do it starting from the last one. Like, I don't want to do it 10 years later.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I want to do it right from where the last one
picks up.
So, as in, well, should we give away spoilers here?
No.
Okay.
People should go out and watch I Survived a Zombie Holocaust.
And then imagine where a sequel might go.
Facebook.com/ISAZH. You can buy a personalised signed DVD directly off us by going to Facebook.com/ISAZH or the Guy and Harley podcast page, or you can find it on Showtime, iTunes, Amazon, AT&T, TMZ, MGO, TMC, the movie channel, MGO, and fucking you name it. It's out there. So if you're listening and you want to watch it, go search I Survived a Zombie Holocaust on your favorite platform apart from Netflix. It's on your second favorite platform. Go and search for it on your second favorite platform.
Go and search for it on anything else except the main one that you definitely have and would use.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Showtime, man. Showtime. That's a big deal. Anyway, so what were we saying about us?
You got your 33% through your bucket list of films to make.
No, I Survived a Zombie Holocaust 2, though.
Yeah. If we could do it and you guys be the same age as you were, with some CG. Some CG here.
Yeah.
Nah. You're going to ask pretty much the same.
Well, I look exactly the same as I did in 2010. What are you on about? No, the thing is, you would have to be... You wouldn't be CGing here on. You'd have to be
I'll give you a wig.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You reckon? Or even, I reckon you would never try to actually convince the audience that it is the minute after the end of the other film. Like, you just do your best with Joss and I, but we're not... you
just lose some fucking weight.
What's that movie?
Lose some fucking weight and go get on with it. I have nice lighting. You'll be fine.
What's that movie?
Sort your shit out.
Kevin and Perry Go Large.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin and Perry Go Large. That's what it would be like.
Be you and Joss.
That's me and Joss. That's what it'd be like. So, and we've just got to accept that, okay?
If I've got the money today, I'd shoot it straight afterwards.
All right.
Put a wig on you. Get some proper lights going. You'd be fine.
All right. So what would I shoot? One, being as an actor, I want to be in a good zombie film. Done that. It's off the list.
Yeah.
It's done. I never want to touch zombie blood again.
Yeah.
2, a World War II film. Now it could be any war.
Oh boy.
It could be any war, but preferably World War II. World War II film in which I'm playing a frontline grunt soldier of some description. So I'm not the hero pilot in the air, I'm a frontline grunt on the, like Band of Brothers. If I could get into Band of Brothers, just a frontline dude, that's what I want. That'd be fucking amazing. And then third thing on the list is a good sci-fi. a good. I think it'd be really cool to be in a really cool sci-fi, a good one. There's lots of kind of quite crappy sci-fi out there, but just imagine being in an amazing one. That would be so cool. So yeah, those are my bucket list. With the war film being on top.
Good news. Absolutely nothing on the slate remotely resembles either of those two things.
On the slate?
Yeah, on the slate of like
of
things
what we
that
might be
could
shooting.
make or might make in the future, or ideas.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
No, nothing like
Absolutely zero.
No, I'd be relying on getting cast in somebody else's big budget,
for those ones.
big budget production.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not quite the same, I guess, as like me making it specifically.
Victory Fist says you're a better actor now than you were in the zombie film.
Yeah.
Hope that's a compliment, he said.
It's
not really.
It's not really. It's a backhanded compliment, that one, where you're saying I was shit in Zombie Holocaust, but I'm way better now.
Well, but even then, even if it's like, even if you say you're good then, but now you're better, which is okay, right? But the problem is, that's what everyone's seen you in and will see you in.
Yeah.
For the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
So, then you've got the issue that people are seeing you not at your best.
Absolutely. And to be fair, I am a much better actor from now until then. I've learned heaps since 2010.
Well, fuck, I hope so.
Plus, I learned a lot on that film. 2011 when we filmed it. I learned a lot on that film as well. That was a big learning curve for me.
Yeah.
Hey, we're just playing with your Victory Fist. Now, speaking of war, and harking back to the dating situation and buzz on Bumble, I took that same date from the NZTV Awards to They Shall Not Grow Old, which is Peter Jackson's World War I documentary. Great date movie.
You idiot. What sort of a dipshit? You want to talk about being stupid when you're 25? How about when you're fucking 35? You go, hey, I've got a great idea. I'll take this new date who definitely doesn't like war films to a fucking war documentary about World War fucking One and bore her to death for 2 straight hours. And the somber mood of that shall then wash over the entire fucking date. And that's what I'm going to do because I'm fucking a genius now that I'm 35.
Okay, but here's the thing. I don't call them dates, mate. All right. I call them relationship auditions. All right. Okay. This is trial by fire, and I need to find out early. Okay. If she can't handle the occasional 2-hour World War I documentary, then she can hit the damn road. Okay, because the Western Front was horrific.
How'd she like that?
She said she really enjoyed it. That's what she said.
Yeah. How did the rest of that night go for you?
I don't remember. It wasn't. What do you mean?
I mean, like, did it end up with any sort of action on your Western Front? Shall we say?
Guy, the listeners know.
Or was it all quiet on the Western Front after that?
The listeners know, Guy. The listeners know, mate, that a gentleman does not kiss and tell.
I see.
And I am a gentleman.
And you
will not comment.
You did not kiss.
I will not comment on what did or did not happen.
Not much to be told.
I will not comment on that. Out of respect. So yeah, what else you got?
Well, look, we better just open up the old mailbag to who's dead this week. We could really just...
Oof, I was so close to doing a bad taste joke then. I was fucking... I was close. Like, it would have been real bad.
We could have really stretched it out to who's dead this year because of the lack of coverage that who's dead this week has been having on this podcast due to the infrequency of it. However, I'm just going to quickly get through 2 dead people this week.
You're just going to rattle off the massacre that 2018 has been. Just have a peek into the mass grave of 2018.
So first, true believers, we have to address Excelsior. You with me, Harley?
What? Excelsior?
Excelsior.
I have no idea what this is.
Stan Lee, you fucking dipshit.
I don't know who that is.
What do you mean you don't know who Stan Lee is?
Well, he did some great kung fu. What? He was great.
What is wrong with you?
He was great, but he died fucking ages ago. Decades ago, mate. It was decades ago. All right.
Stan Lee, the comic book legend and creator of some of the most iconic characters in comic book history, passed away, I believe, at the age of 94 or 95. Pretty sad stuff. Stan Lee, man. Remember his cameo in Mallrats?
Dragon. Revenge of the Dragon. I don't remember his cameo from Mallrats.
Oh, it was very funny.
Good.
But anyway, yeah, Stan Lee passed away. On the one hand, he was old. On the other hand, he kind of changed the world completely. And in fact, I know this, you probably not like this, but if not for him, we probably wouldn't have this superhero movie franchise epidemic that...
So he's the guy we've got to thank.
So, well, I mean, he is, as you were saying before, if you're my catalyst, he is the catalyst for those superhero movies. At least he's one of them, because he created all those characters. Spider-Man. Fucking Spider-Man. He fucking came out with Spider-Man. Like, seriously.
Yeah, he said he was sitting in a room trying to think of a new superhero, and he thought of a Bugman of some other type. It was like different type of Bugman.
Yeah.
He was like, no, it's no good. But then he saw a fly going up the wall, and he was like, hey, wouldn't that be cool if you could walk up walls and stuff? And then he came up with Spider-Man.
And changed the world. So very sad to see him go. I do recommend there's a podcast interview with him, with Stan Lee, on The Nerdist. And it's one of the only interviews, like in-depth long interviews I've heard with him, where he kind of ultimately drops his Stan the Man Lee facade and just starts talking normally. I highly recommend that anyone who was a fan of anything that he's ever done to go out of their way to listen to that podcast, because I think he says some very interesting stuff in there about his life and sort of what kept him going and all those things. But also, I did also dig the fact that he was working right until he died. And he did say, he's like, I want to die with my boots on, And I think that's pretty cool. And it may have...
Well, what does that mean? That he wants to die doing something?
Yeah, like he wants to die like working. He don't want to retire. He doesn't want to just enjoy. Because that was the other thing, is that like essentially he created these characters and then a lot of other people got rich with them until these Marvel movies came along. And then it was like, well, I'm fucking 80 and now these movies are coming out. But the awesome thing is he lived another 15 years, so he did get to enjoy some of his Marvel money, which I think is also pretty cool. So that's the first Who's Dead this week. Your complete lack of enthusiasm and disrespect has, put a downer on that one. So we'll move on to number 2.
Well, I'm always bad at this segment. I'm never good at it. The other week,
just such an asshole. It's the problem. It's really the issue.
Well,
I'm never really good at paying my respects to legends that have left this world. I don't know. I just got to say something smarmy and smart about it.
Yeah.
It's just something within me.
Yeah. Like I did feel bad after dissing that Star Wars producer.
Yeah.
So I'd like to apologize for that.
Fucking good.
I exacerbated it.
Like an a-hole.
By playing the wrong Star Wars music at the end of it. You go, just play the music! But I played the Cantina music.
But, okay, that's a funny joke.
but then afterwards I was like, wait a minute, a man is dead, Harley.
Yeah.
But I'd already edited it and uploaded it, and then afterwards I was like, oh, maybe that was a bit far. I should have just played the nice, the good, powerful Star Wars music out of respect.
The fucking Force music.
Yeah. As opposed to Schneich noodles. Yeah. Yeah.
You fucking asshole.
Yeah, but it's just lucky you don't listen to the podcast.
I know.
You would never know.
I didn't clock that. Or I would have mentioned it.
Yeah, I know.
But that is a funny joke on the same time.
Nick Zalati mentioned it.
All right.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. I mentioned it to him. We were chatting.
Yeah, I mean,
So
this is the thing.
listener.
You do think I'm really looking forward to when this backfires on you, to be honest, because you really love trolling people on Facebook when someone dies as well,
Yeah.
and like posting the memes and the jokes about that person.
Yeah.
You know, really making fun of tragedy.
Yeah, I was a little
really relishing in that.
a little. I'm not going to say what this is, but a little part of me was tempted to Photoshop barbed wire onto somebody from the media's face recently and call it Post Malane, but I didn't do it. It was too far.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I just feel like as your notoriety grows, you're going to do one of these posts and you're going to hook into the age of outrage.
Yeah.
And like everyone's going to get on your ass and you're going to have to post a formal apology
Yeah.
and shit and go, look, I've actually got no problems with this person. I just think it's funny to make person of people that are recently dead because I know it gets a reaction on Facebook. Okay? And I'm looking for that I'm looking for that reaction so I can
It's not just that though.
my-
These people are very far away from me physically. So, you know,
So that's
and
okay
lived,
to be
they lived
to
in,
disrespect them.
They lived entire lives without me, you know, and they don't care what I think, you know, and they're dead now, so they extra don't give a shit what I think, you know, and so I kind of just
So yeah,
you know,
disrespect their memory.
It's not disrespecting; it's a defense mechanism, all right, so that I don't have to acknowledge that I'm dying every day.
So yeah, just rip the shit out of everyone that
Exactly.
goes before you.
My best defense is a good joke.
A good joke at their expense.
My best defense is a good offensive joke. That's what I should have said.
Dad joke number one. Dad joke number one. So number 2 person that is dead this week, and I do want to focus a little bit more on this man because not so many people will know him.
Enter the Dragon.
William Goldman. You know who that is?
From Goldman and Sachs.
No.
No.
Screenwriter? Nothing?
No.
Nothing at all.
Literally, I've never heard that.
The
name in my
most famous screenwriter that's ever probably written screenplays.
life. Are you talking about Shakespeare?
No, I'm talking about for movies.
Well, that's what screenwriters do.
Yeah. When did Shakespeare make his first fucking feature film, Harley?
Romeo and Juliet, little film called Romeo and Juliet, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. aka Othello. You know, yeah, there's plenty of them.
10 Things I Hate About You. Remember that classic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ryan Phillippe.
Why?
Oh.
See, that's bad. That you know Ryan Phillippe, the actor, but you don't know William Goldman, the fucking screenwriter. Like, what is wrong with you?
I'm just interested in different stuff to you, man.
So William Goldman is a writer who wrote a lot of very famous films. He was probably most well known in this era for adapting Stephen King novels. So he adapted a lot of Stephen King novels, Misery being probably the prime candidate. But he also did All the President's Men, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and you'll fucking know this one, thank God, The Princess Bride.
I have seen that one, yep. All those hands coming out of the walls.
Oh my God.
Touching her and taking her down into that hole.
You're in full troll mode tonight. It's basically what's happened. As Harley is a gremlin, it's gone past midnight, and he's had something to drink, and now he's turned into a little fucking troll.
Yeah, you know, and they go to the castle, and Prince is there, you know. David Bowie, he's there.
With some rather revealing stockings.
Yeah, big balls.
So... Anyway, can we get back to my fucking eulogy for this man?
So yeah, sorry, The Princess Bride.
He's a Princess Bride, but he also wrote 2 famous books. Which, any ideas about those?
No.
Fucking anything? You might have even read one of them.
Okay,
fucking
well tell me,
dipshit.
I do read lots of stuff.
Adventures in the Screen Trade.
I haven't read that. I haven't read that.
Basically,
What was the other one?
the other one was Which Lie Did I Tell You, which was kind of a sequel to that.
Right.
So those books are sort of like very famous for all fucking filmmakers worth their salt, as sort of required reading. As like one of the first things you do when you sort of get into and you go, okay, I want to be in the movies, I want to be this. So he talks about his experience as a screenwriter. How did he become a screenwriter? What did he do? How did he transition from being a novelist to a screenwriter? And I'm just reading the comment. And so I read this when I was 19 and I was like, fuck yeah, I can be a writer. This was one of the seminal books that sent me on my path to becoming a screenwriter and was incredibly informative. And then he did a follow-up book, Which Lie Did I Tell You, which talked a little bit about the fallout of and being blacklisted because he wrote the first book and kind of exposed Hollywood secrets. Also, you will know this, you fucking ass,
What?
is that he sort of coined the famous term in filmmaking or in movies, no one knows anything.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the sort of the principle that you can do everything right, you can try all these things, but at the end, nobody fucking knows if it's going to work. No one knows if it's going to be successful. No one thing can guarantee your movie is going to be great or going to be bad or going to be successful or whatever. And so you're always just, whenever you're making a film, you're always like, you're trying to align everything, but no one knows if it's going to be what's going to connect with the audience.
I seem to recall no one knows anything being in as a line of dialogue in a film that we made.
Probably.
That film comes out hopefully in festivals in 2019. It's a feature film.
No, that's slightly different.
Oh, yeah?
No, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's pretty much exactly that.
You go, hang on a tick. I'm just remembering in my brain where I
Plagiarized
stole that from.
that.
Yeah, no, it's gone into my brain now. Yeah, so from this book, I was 19, cut to 15 years later, I'm making a movie, I got an idea of a quote, it sounds really clever to me. No one knows anything. It was in a different context.
Yeah, well, yeah, sort of. I mean, it was a filmmaker, but we won't get into it.
So anyway, he wrote these two books, and I also just want to, because he passed away from cancer just recently. Huge blow to the industry, really sad. And he was writing movies right up to the end, but he also did have like an interesting sort of talk in his second book, and he goes, now how do I decide where I'm going to make a film? I think about time, the amount of time that I have left versus the amount of time that this is going to take me versus how passionate I am about this thing. Is it worth taking away the time that I have left of my life to maybe make this film, or should I sort of leave it? And I think
that's how I feel now.
And that's the sort of the yeah, exactly. And he was talking. He was like, I don't know, I guess in his 50s when he wrote that second follow-up book. Because he was also a successful novelist before he was a screenwriter. Marathon Man. Fucking nothing.
Nothing. Never heard of him.
Okay.
He has made zero contribution to my life and my outlook on life. Don't think have I viewed anything that he's done? Misery, you said.
Yeah, and The Princess Bride.
I've seen bits of Misery and I've seen bits of Princess Bride.
You haven't seen Butch Cassidy?
Is that starring Emilio Estevez?
No. That's fucking Tombstone.
No, it's not Tombstone. It's Young Guns.
Young Guns.
Yeah, and Young
it.
Guns 2. Come on, get it right, man.
Sorry.
You know, the joke of me not knowing anything about anything only works if you know what the answer is.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
But
I confused those two bad.
No, Young Guns is awesome. Young Guns is a bloody gem.
Those bad like early to mid 90s westerns.
No, Young Guns was really good. And what did you say, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid?
Yes.
Is that the one where one
Paul
guy
Newman and Robert Redford?
No, I don't think I've seen that. It's not the one where one guy goes, he comes into town looking for trouble, and there's a former sheriff there, and he's like, the guy's like, no, I'm retired, and then the guy points his gun at another guy who's really sick, but still has his guns, and he's got tuberculosis or whatever, but he's still a badass. And they go, what about you? You retired too? And he goes, not me. I'm in my prime. Is that Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid?
No, it's not.
Oh, all right.
But I don't actually know what that was from.
The guy whose character, I forget, he's a real life cowboy. His final words before he died in real life were he looked down at his feet and he saw his toe and he goes, huh, that's funny. And then he died. Cool story.
William Goldman.
Back to William.
Rest in peace. But yeah, I just saw hugely influential on screenwriters and on people that are interested in educating themselves about fucking making movies. There's only one of us here that is interested in that.
Well, listen,
Therefore, that's really only made an impact on one of us.
Yeah. Well, I don't need to read it if you've read it. I'll just follow your guidance in those.
We'll just steal those lines. No one
especially
knows
the writing.
anything.
Yeah. Now,
The sooner you figure out that, better off you'll be.
Speaking of filmmaking, I got our original films digitized. Now, this is excellent news for Nick Zalati, who said 3 years ago that he would join our Patreon if we uploaded our first film, Superstition Bites, to the interwebs. Well, guess what, mate?
We've delivered.
I've digitized it. So our very first film that we made when we were 16, this is where it all began. This was... Guy and I had detention. We were walking home up through the graveyard. Guy said this would be a great place to make a movie. I said, real original idea, homo, and because we were 16. And then a few months later, he hire purchased a camera, a Hi8 camera, using his milk run money.
Pay for the milk run. Thank you very much.
And then we went up there and we shot it. And then Guy edited it on his 2 VCRs, pressing record on one and play on the other, and then stop it and then cue it up to where you want it and then play again, like analog editing on 2 VCRs on his TV at home. And so I have that film now. It's a glorious 16 minutes long, I think, or maybe even longer. I can't remember. Anyway, I just kind of scrubbed through it and I was like, Jesus. Anyway, I'm going to put it on the internet for you guys. I'm going to put it on the Retro Pigville Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Pigville. You can find it there, Retro Pigville Videos. It's where I stick all of our old stuff. So anyway, despite the fact that I hadn't put Superstition Bites up because I couldn't find it, Nick Zalati still became a Patreon supporter. So shout out to Nick. Thank you very much. He's an old fan from the Project days, from back when when the Project, our awesome web series, which I legit still love, played on a platform called Zune, and somehow he found it. Him and his brother found it, and they watched it. It was because Zune, somehow you could access Zune without using your bandwidth up or something like that. And this was back in the days when internet was like, hard and slow and stuff. So there's something like it didn't affect his bill or something like that. So he had access to Zune for whatever reason, like as some promo or whatever. And so he found the project on there and he watched it. So here I was thinking that nobody was watching Zune, but Nick Zalati was.
Interesting.
So anyway, if anybody else would like to become a Patreon supporter, patreon.com/Pigville, and you can give us $1 a month to keep creating these podcasts at least once a month. Now, I didn't actually know I didn't know exactly what was going to be on these VHS tapes when I took them in to get digitized, but it was $166 to digitize like 6 tapes or something like that. It was pretty fucking expensive, but I was like, well, for posterity, I'd better do it. But anyway, I didn't exactly know what was on them, but I knew there was nothing, bad on there really. But those guys that digitize VHS tapes, they must be digitizing quite a lot of mum and dad's old porn, right? Like, the boomers and Gen X, from when consumer video cameras started coming out. Picture that, people. Your parents' sex tapes. Soak that image up. That's what these guys must be like digitizing.
That's their bread and butter.
Just like
and weddings.
A box of tapes. Yeah, exactly. People bring in a box of tapes. It's weddings and then the wedding night fucking porno. They said that they don't watch all of it, but they said that, they're being digitized and they are walking around the office and around the building and stuff like that. So they do catch glimpses of what is being digitized. They do have an idea of what is on, some of the tapes. So they don't sit there and watch them, so they claim, but they probably would if it was porn. Right? Am I right, guys? Or is that unprofessional? Now, I had I had 5 auditions, and they all went well. I'm still waiting to hear about a couple of them. I didn't get like probably at least 3 of them, but there's 2 that I still potentially could have gotten, and both of those are I just haven't heard no yet of those 2, and both of them are good ones. They're from they're both for TV shows, so it's quite a big opportunity if I get either of them. And one of them is Shortland Street, New Zealand's favourite soap opera. Now, I sort of fucked up a little bit. Last time I auditioned for Shortland Street, I've only auditioned for them twice in my life. And I'd love to get on the show because it'll be a huge learning curve because of the way they shoot on there. It's very quick turnaround. Apparently, it's like you walk up, you say your lines. If you hit your mark and you say your lines right, they buy it and they move on. And that's why sometimes people complain about the acting on it, but it's because they're getting one take or just a few takes and smashing it out and then moving on to the next scene, quickly, because they've got to shoot 1 million pages a day. So I think it'd be a great learning curve as an actor. It'd be something professionally very challenging, and then it'd be great publicity and great, for my brand and all that, to be like, get it on my IMDb and all that stuff, because a lot of people won't even watch it. All they'll see is Harley Neville was on Shortland Street. That's all they'll see. They won't know that the character, what happened or what it was or how good the acting was or anything like that, really. And so, anyway, I sort of got a little bit too excited, and I posted about it. I posted about my audition before I had heard no for my audition, right? Which the first time I auditioned for them, I posted about it, but I waited until I'd heard no, and then I posted about it, saying, I didn't get it, but it was great to get in the room type thing. But this time, I basically left the building and posted a funny status about...
Is it you or is it me? And then put your fucking thing up.
Eh? Oh yeah, no. I shared a status I shared a picture of my face with the Shortland Street sign, and I said, "This is Shortland Street, not Short Bald Street. Get the fuck out of my office." Hashtag game face. Hashtag audition time. And that's fine, but I decided in the end to make it private because basically. They haven't made that decision yet. So they might be like, oh yeah, that guy was really good. Let's check him out on social media. Then they'll go, oh, this idiot's posting about us.
Posting about the super secret audition process.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't signed anything, but yeah. So I decided to take that down. So that was a little professional faux pas on my behalf. But I'm going to put it back up after I hear no.
Also, I thought it was interesting that didn't the joke start as short man?
Because
and then you amended it to short bald.
Yeah, because what happened there was I originally wrote the joke as, because I wrote this months ago. Like I say, nothing is improv. I don't improv anything. Everything I ever say has been pre-written and pre-memorized.
Like literally, the conversations that we have, you've already written them out beforehand. Written them out.
Absolutely, I write them out. And so this Shortland Street, Short Bald Street joke, I came up with it months ago. It goes, it's not Shortland Street, it's not Short Bald Street, and so. But the thing is, at the time, I was kind of just getting in my car and I was driving somewhere and I had a few other things in my mind and I'd just come out of the audition and I was like, what was that joke again?
You hadn't checked the script.
I hadn't checked the fucking script. And so I posted it as Short Man Street and I was like, that's not quite right. But I was like, whatever. And then later on, I was like, fuck, that's it. And Short Bald Street is way funnier than Short Man Street because I am a man. So the man part of it is irrelevant. Whereas Short Bald is 2 jokes jammed in there. Plus it's just a funnier joke, and it's also there's 4 characters in bald and 4 characters in land. It just works. The whole thing works a lot better. It's an art. It's poetry. That's what it is. Speaking of poetry, I'm going to record a poem tomorrow. Just on my camera. I'm just going to do a little rehearsal in the backyard, but I'm finally going to do it. And then when Adam, our good friend Adam, comes back, 5150 listener, when he comes back through, I'm hoping to get him to shoot it for me on his fancy camera in the backyard.
Yeah, I thought we were going to do that before I had my surgery.
Yeah, but it's not the same. It's nothing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a super shallow depth of field.
Yeah.
I can do it on any camera. I can do it on a cell phone. I'm going to have a super shallow depth of field, and I'm just going to walk into focus, deliver my poem, and then at the end of it, step back out of focus. Mm-hmm. But I want to get that depth of field as kind of as shallow as I can, I guess. And that's really all I want to do. So tomorrow I'm going to shoot a rehearsal with my little vlogging camera. And then I'm going to, tweak it from there and, see what bits I don't like and so on. And then shoot it properly, hopefully, with Adam when he comes through.
The symmetry, man.
Well, symmetry would be good. No, but it's not the same poem. This is not my breakup poem. Right. This is a different poem. This is my Jefferson Bethke retort poem. Jefferson Bethke is an evangelical Christian poet from America who inspired my entire poetry career with his poem "Why I Hate Religion But Love Jesus." And so I wrote him, the first poetry I really got into was sort of writing a retort to him, and I'm finally going to shoot the video for that, because it's a fucking good poem.
How's he doing? Is he still on YouTube?
Well, last I checked, he had hundreds of millions of views and was selling books. So I think he's doing all right. And he's still, well, I haven't checked on his profile for a long time, to be honest. But yeah, last time I checked, he was doing all right, selling books and like doing like speaking events and all that type of thing.
God is good, my friend.
Allah Akbar.
Well, I better go back and do some work.
All right.
Unless
okay.
you got some amazing final topic.
Okay. Well, look. Here's two things that we need to do. First thing we need to do is we need to acknowledge that this is the final episode of 2018.
Yes.
Okay. This is the Christmas episode.
Yes.
This most probably is the New Year's Eve episode, unless we maybe squeeze in a Skype one before New Year's, but probably not. You know, so this is the final episode of the year, and I think it's a good time to say thank you to the listeners for standing by us, tuning in each week, month, whatever, and you know, like, we do this because you guys actually download it. If you guys didn't listen to it, eventually I'm sure we'd get bored, but the 5150 are very important to us, so thank you very much for all of your support over the years, and thank you for the Patreon supporters as well. You guys are amazing. And yeah, I've got good feelings. I've got a really good feeling for 2019. Now, every year I say this, right? Every year I say, 2018, 2016, year of the Pigville. 2017, year of the Pigville. 2018, this is it, mate. We're going to blow up this year.
Yeah.
Year of the Pigville. Yeah. Well, guess what?
2019.
It's year of the Pigville. It is. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it's literally year of the pig in the Chinese, you know, whatever astrology, horoscope thing, yeah. So it literally is the year of the Pigville next year, and I think that everything's kind of lining up nicely for us at the moment. We're creeping out of our pleb jobs. You know, there's lots of work to be done, but at least it's in the right industries that we're kind of working in, and you know, things are getting exciting. People are paying some attention to what we do. We've got some great exciting projects that are looking to come out. Like we've got the Harrow short film, we've got Immy the Vegan, and we've got Older the Movie, all of which should come out in 2019. Or I'll eat my goddamn hat. And so yeah, 2019. I'm pretty excited about that. What do you got to say?
Well, yeah, and let's not forget this potential new feature that we could be potentially embarking on.
Shooting it, but that's the first step. Beginning the 5-year process.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the 5-year process.
Yeah.
And this time, we're going to put in the, we're going to solve the biggest problem to the delay, which is not have me edit it. And therefore, as long as we get someone to edit it, it will be okay.
Yeah.
But
well, I guess that all comes down to how well Older, our second feature, does. Because if that is a big success, then people will be clambering to edit our third feature, I'm sure. But if we poop it out and nobody gives a shit, we're kind of... Well, I mean, it'll definitely help us still. It'll definitely look good. It'll definitely be another step up. So it'll never be bad for us or anything like that. But it won't necessarily kick down the doors always. But I guess we'll see. We'll see which way it goes. Is it going to kick down the doors or just gently...
Trickle out. Just trickle under the crack.
Just gently push on the door. But it turns out it's a pull door.
It could be that one. Could be that one.
Dad joke number 2, maybe. Yeah. So anyway, look, we will get going. Unless you want to say anything sappy to the listeners.
Oh yeah. Look, I guess I won't be for the next couple of weeks. Probably able to communicate very much. So there we go. Just reading Victory Fist's comment of how it will push out the door. Gently turtle head out the door.
Out the door, yeah. He also said earlier on the live stream that he would make a Pornhub account to upload all of the old VHS porn from his clients.
It's a moneymaker.
It's incredibly unprofessional.
It's a moneymaker.
Highly illegal. The police would have a lot to say to you. But if you can get away with it, could be a wee moneymaker.
But yeah, so I would just like to thank everyone for their support of Pigville over the year and years, and for coming back and listening and interacting and commenting and doing all the things that help us make our things. So I really appreciate that. And yeah, hopefully I'm alive in 2019 to continue the podcast.
Now, speaking of making things and so on, make sure, listeners, as you're heading out the door, that you hit like, all right, on this podcast. Give us a 5-star rating on iTunes. Do whatever you're doing. Hit like, hit thumbs up, wherever it is. If it's on YouTube, it's wherever it is. Hit follow if it's on Spotify, whatever. Hit like. And what I want you to do, right, is I want you to think of it as tipping, all right? But the beauty of it is that it costs you nothing, and yet it gives us something, okay? By hitting like, it gives us something, and it costs you nothing, all right? Now think about this. We use that something you give us to create you something. You give us a like, it boosts our online profile, we create more content, you get something, okay? Right? If we work the system, guys, 5150 listeners, if we work the system together, we can game this system and get something for nothing. It's genius if you think about it. So go ahead, hit like on your way out. And also, if you're one of those people out there relying on seeing my Facebook posts, even though there's an episode out, just hit subscribe, okay? Just hit subscribe. Then you don't have to worry about that anymore, all right? It's much easier. We're on iTunes, Spotify, Libsyn, YouTube, Twitch. Get us in your holes in 2019, all right?
Get us all up in that.
Yeah, all right. So, thank you very much for listening, and we will catch you in January 2019.
Merry Christmas.